So let's talk a little bit about what you came to hear about. And that, folks, is Mining City. Okay, now let me take a deep breath and a quick drink real quick because I'm getting a little winded. But I want you guys to hear all about this company because I'm really, really excited about it. Obviously, a little bit, if you guys don't know, you're brand new, you don't know what cryptocurrency is, let's talk about it for a second because, digital currency is cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is a digital currency. It is a cryptocurrency. Okay, it's used to complete financial transactions using blockchain technology versus like debit cards and credit cards. The nice fact about it is it provides high security and it can't be counterfeited. It's also a means of storing value digitally, which means it's highly portable. And it doesn't require a central authority, which is kind of unique because it's the first currency in the world that was actually made for the people, by the people, okay? The first cryptocurrency itself, guys, was Bitcoin. We all know that story. If you don't, I'm going to talk a little about it. But it's essential to understand the technology when participating in anything to do with cryptocurrency. So let's just cover this really quick. So you have this thing called blockchain. People always say to me, Ari, what is that? Well, blockchain is basically a decentralized ledger. Like the banks have their own ledgers, but you can't see them. But with cryptocurrency, the ledger is decentralized and it's public and it's open to anybody. So it's a chain of blocks that are linked together. Each block contains information of transactions detailing who is participating in the transaction, the time, the date, the amount transferred, and each block stores a unique code, which we call hash, to distinguish them from other blocks. So this is how blocks are basically added to the blockchain. So let's say that person A sends money to B. So let's say that I am person A and I'm sending Darren money. So I'll send it over to Darren. The nodes, which are the miners, the network, they'll confirm the transaction. And then the block is given a hash and added to the blockchain, which is that little link, that hash or TX hash. That's that little link you can click on in your wallet to open up a web page. So the two people involved can look at the transaction and know exactly what it is. So let's talk about how you can get cryptocurrency itself. Now, first of all, there's really only two ways to get cryptocurrency. You can buy it or you can mine it, okay? You can go to an exchange and you can purchase Bitcoin, BitcoinVault, or any number of 2,400 different cryptocurrencies from an exchange. You can also use one of the many crypto exchanges operating around the world to purchase about any one of them that you want. You can create a digital account after choosing a market. You do deposit funds and then purchase the actual type of currency or cryptocurrency that you want. So here's the nice thing. Like the other side is you can purchase in the mining process, which we were talking about. So this is actually the best way. This is the way that I got started. I started mining in May of 2011. And I'll tell you up front, when I started mining, I had no idea what I was doing. I just had a neighbor that had said to me, Ari, you need to start mining Bitcoin. And because I had all this money, I was like, what's it going to cost me? $2,500, $3,000. And, he was like, yeah, it's going to be close to $3,000. We'll put together this little black box. We'll set it up in your house and you'll start mining. Now, back in 2011, guys, there wasn't a lot of people mining. So it was easy to mine out of your house. Today, you can't be competitive in your house. The machines are too quick. It eats up more electricity. It gets hot. You just can't do that. So here's what I like about this whole process. As you're competing in or participating in the mining process as a node or a miner, you get a reward when you add the block to the blockchain, okay? So this is kind of a unique deal. So mining in itself, what is it? How's it work? The miners basically process the approval of transactions that connect the block to the blockchain. Once it's approved, it's added to the blockchain. A block is approved and added to the blockchain when miners confirm the transaction and solve the complex mathematical problem. The first miner to solve and add the block to the chain is given a reward in Bitcoin or BitcoinVault or whatever it's mining, depending on the blockchain transactions that are being approved. Now, currently, when a block is awarded, right now with Bitcoin, it's only 6.25 Bitcoin. So it's went down from what it used to be. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But when one block is connected to the blockchain, it is stored on the distributed ledger, and the miners begin the process to the transactions of the next block to obtain the block reward. So here's the key factors of mining. First of all, there's 4 things you got to be aware of. Okay, you got difficulty. So as more nodes participate in the mining, the mining or the difficulty to solve the block to obtain the reward is adjusted. And they try to keep it at a 10-minute average for both Bitcoin and BitcoinVault. And I believe the same applies to Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash. But the mining pool, this is actually where it gets kind of unique. This is what I was saying earlier. When you can't really compete at home with one or two machines. It just doesn't work. So you basically join a pool, okay? And that pool allows you guys to put all your resources together, and then you compete more effectively, increasing their chance to receive the block reward, okay? A hash, again, is the mathematical problem the nodes need to solve, okay? And hash rate is the number of guesses your miner can make per second. So the block reward, again, with Bitcoin or BitcoinVault is generated when a miner finds a solution. Now, Bitcoin is halved every 210,000 blocks, which is currently a 6.25 BTC every 10 minutes, and the next halving is expected in 2024. We're going to talk a little bit about BitcoinVault and a little bit and how it halves to help you guys understand that, so bear with me on that. But the other factor you guys have is you got the miner's power consumption. So the higher the power consumption of the miner, the more that is required to be paid in electricity costs, which means you're losing profit. Pool fees, the percentage of earnings taken for the service of using a mining pool. Okay, so one of the things that Mining City said is, I'm part of the BTC.com mining pool. And that's one of the things I verified. And it was very easy to verify because literally anybody can join that pool. If you buy a bunch of machines and you have a setup, securely and so on and so forth, you can actually download their software and you can load that on your machine. You can mine as part of the pool, and you'll get your share of the profits through the pool, but you'll pay a 2% pool fee. That's what the pool fee is right there, so you guys know. And then you have Bitcoin price. The mined Bitcoin is converted to any other currencies will show profitability because that's newly minted money. It's like you have a free license to print money for the very first time. And obviously when it's generated, you should always be in profit. But like now with Bitcoin itself, because we just have the block reward just cut down, the price went up to increase it. Well, Bitcoin's price or value hasn't caught up yet, so it's not quite that profitable right now, but BitcoinVault itself is highly profitable. We're going to talk about that. The TXID, or the unique transaction ID, which is generated to view completed transactions. A lot of us will call that the TX hash. That's, again, that little link in the wallet. You can click on it, and you can see all the details of the transaction, what it was worth when you sent it and what it's worth right now. You can see what wallet it went from and to. You can even track back where that Bitcoin came from the previous wallets that sent to the one that sent to you. So it's actually a really unique little ledger, and it really keeps everything out there publicly, and it's impossible to fool. That's what I love about it. Now, let's talk about reasons for increasing or decreasing mining difficulty. If more miners participate in the mining, it's more likely to create a block faster. Therefore, to maintain the average of 10 minutes per block, the difficulty to solve the mathematical problem is increased or decreased depending on the total number of miners participating in the network. Here's the other thing I want you guys to cover. So because somebody asked me this question today, they say, okay, so I'm looking at my BitcoinVault, how much I'm being paid, and I see some of it's decreasing. Of course it is, because here's the thing. It's like a big piece of pizza pie. So I want you to look at the pizza pie as you get a slice of it if you're part of a pool. But the more people that become part of the pool, the smaller your slice will be. It doesn't mean that you're making less profit, just less cryptocurrency. So it's a little different process to help you guys understand. So let's talk more about Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency. It was created by an anonymous programmer called Satoshi Nakamoto on the 1st of November, 2008, using blockchain technology. Let's talk about the differences between fiat or paper money and Bitcoin. So with fiat, when it comes to the creation process, it's issued by certain institutions like banks. But with Bitcoin, anybody can participate in the process of miner. Anybody can be a creator of Bitcoin, but not everyone can be a creator of fiat currency. Transaction ledger. The information on the ledger is not transparent. It's operated by institutions when it comes to fiat currency. You can't see. But with Bitcoin, it's a distributed ledger. Transaction currency or transaction history and balances can be viewed by anyone on the network. Then you have transaction fees. For fiat, if you want to send something overseas, it's quite expensive. I know because I've done it. I mean, sometimes it could be as much as 5 or 6% of what you're sending. And with Bitcoin, it could be a whole lot less. Like I have a transaction we sent out of my wife's wallet. It was like 144,000 bucks. And that little transaction, I think, cost us like $100. I mean, it was like dirt cheap. I have to look it up and I'll post it one day in the group so you guys can actually see it because it was so cheap. And then you have transaction times. So let's say I send money from the United States to the Philippines or Philippines to US. Typically, it's going to take 3 and maybe even 4 days. And those are working days, meaning banking days, open days. But with Bitcoin, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's usually about 10 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's Sunday. Doesn't matter if it's Saturday. It's 10 minutes. Then you have the potential of Bitcoin. This is one of the biggest reasons that really got my eyes to open. Now, again, I told you guys I started mining in May of 2011. But here's the truth of the story. Around the end of 2011, I basically stopped because Bitcoin tumbled. It went back down in value. 2012 was kind of a horrible year. Had I known what was going to happen in 2013, I would have never stopped. It was my biggest mistake that I will ever say to anybody. That was the biggest thing I did was stop. 2012 was a nightmare for me. But here's what happened in 2013. Bitcoin spiked again. So my buddy that got me involved in the first time reached out to me and said, hey, man, you see what's happened to Bitcoin? You need to start doing it again. And here's why it made sense, because of the scarcity of the coin. There's only 21 million Bitcoins in total. The last coin is expected to be mined in 2140. Now, currently, we have about 18 million, a little over 18 million. I think it's like 18,300,000 and some thousand coins that have actually been mined. So with that set total of coins that's going to be mined, that's all there's ever going to be. That's going to force the value to go up. That's the thing I like about Bitcoin. It's what really attracted me to it. And then you have this thing called decentralization. And this is really the beauty of it. So unlike, say, a bank where you take your money in, you put it in the bank controls it. They tell you how much you can take out, when you can take it out. If you want to take out a big amount, guess what? You got to put in a request a few days prior. It's like a pain in the butt. But with Bitcoin, because it's decentralized, it's held in your own wallet, you can spend what you want to spend whenever you want to spend it. Nobody's going to approve your transaction. Nobody's going to tell you you can't make a transaction. It's completely controlled by you, whereas with the bank, it's controlled by the institution. Then you have the value increase as the block reward is halved. So this is what is kind of a cool thing. Bitcoin just halved. And typically somewhere around 90 to 120 days after the halving, we'll start to see an increase because that's what's happened every single time it's halved before. And we've already seen this with BitcoinVault. Every time it halved, which is twice, it's went up in value. So here's the cool part again. You know, when the halving happens, you know, you got 210,000 blocks every 4 years approximately. That's when it halves. So 18 million coins, I already told you, have been mined. Currently, 6.25 Bitcoins are mined every 10 minutes. The next halve period is around 2024. Past halving, as history, we see an increase after value actually increase after the block reward decreases. So it's kind of like an inflation-proof currency. Whereas, let's say that, you know, they flood the market with a bunch more dollars. What happens to the dollar? The value goes way down. Well, as we start to get more scarce and there's less Bitcoins going around, it goes up. And so it's beautiful. So let's talk about BitcoinVault. I mean, this is the one that you guys should be really ready to pay attention to because this is a phenomenal coin, okay? What I like about this coin, it's not owned by a network marketing company. It's not an MLM coin or a shit coin. It was actually created by Ayal outside of the company, and it was something that he started on, you know, before he actually, Money City took off. And this is what's really unique about it. This coin is, they've already, well, actually, I'm sorry, this is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, obviously, we'll see if okay, so here we are. So here's BitcoinVault. Bitcoin, unlike, you know, BitcoinVault has one key, okay? What BitcoinVault has 3 keys. Bitcoin has a private key. BitcoinVault has a private key, but it also has a transaction cancellation key, which is theft protection. And then it has a 3rd key, which is a 10-minute transaction key. So let's talk about how that works. Let's say that I'm sending Darren some money and it's going to be BitcoinVault. So I send it to him on my phone. I can go right over to my wallet on my computer and I can send him the 3rd key and do a fast transaction confirmation because I know him. But now let's say somebody accidentally hacks my network, gets into my computer, and they send BitcoinVault from my wallet on my computer to themselves. And in the morning, I wake up and I realize, oh my God, I've been hacked. Well, I can go over and use the second key to retrieve all of those stolen coins back into my wallet. That is the beauty of this coin. It is the ultimate store of value. Unlike Bitcoin SV or Bitcoin Cash, it's not a hard fork of Bitcoin. It is the Genesis coin. Okay, what they've done is they took Bitcoin Core, they created a brand new coin by adding some additional code to it for the theft protection, and then they mined the Genesis coin. So it started from ground zero. Okay, and this is what's really cool. It's just like Bitcoin. It's only going to have 21 million Bitcoin vaults in circulation. Okay, and you know, you can actually see on this next page, this is what's cool about it, is you actually have, it's mined with the same machines as a Bitcoin is, same ASIC chip, same algorithm, SHA-256. And the potential for this is very unique because this is a proof of work coin. It's not a token like, say, BitConnect that was proof of stake, or Clubcoin that was proof of stake. This is a real coin. It's got a real ecosystem. It's got real mining. It's got a lot of things going on it in its infrastructure, you know, that's very unique. But the coolest thing of all to me is the fact I feel like I'm mining Bitcoin back in 2013. And here's why. This coin is halving every 6 months. So if you notice, we actually, right now, this was the block reward was 175, just went to 150 because it halved in May 2020. The next halving is going to be in November 2020. It's going to halve to 125. Every time this happens, more coins will be in circulation and you'll actually see value increases because that's what halving does. It pushes up the price. This is why I like this coin, this and the security. Fair distribution. This is the other thing I really like about it. So when, as I said earlier, when I started mining back in May of 2011, there wasn't a whole lot of people mining, but the people that were mining, they mined a lot of Bitcoins. So guess what happened? A lot of people had 10 or 15 or 20,000 Bitcoins before anybody else even knew about Bitcoin. And unfortunately, that led to unfair distribution, meaning that you had a lot of whales that are holding a lot of coins. But really, in reality, there's very few people across the globe that actually hold Bitcoin in a wallet. In fact, there's less than 2% of the world. That's the crazy part, less than 2%. In fact, it's more like 1.25 or 1.3, something like that. And because the block rewards from the first block of BitcoinVault was actually mined as a Genesis coin, this is a really fair distribution across many wallets. So it's unlike Bitcoin. You're not going to have a ton of people that are just whales holding all the coins, holding all of the value when it starts trading and so on and so forth. You also have a high block reward. Right now, we're getting 150 Bitcoins or 150 Bitcoin vaults every 10 minutes. Miners that are participating in the early stages right now, like you guys are, you actually will get the highest returns, just like I did when I was mining Bitcoin in 2013. Okay, the reduction of BitcoinVault will catch Bitcoin somewhere around 2024. Okay, when that happens, we'll actually be on the same schedule that Bitcoin is on from that point. And that's what's really unique. So you're here at the right time, guys. Look, if you haven't bought a package, I'm going to tell you this right now. When we get done, you want to buy a package because you want to be one of these early adopters that start mining this coin, because that's when you're going to make the most money. Okay, factual. Let's talk about the potential of BitcoinVault, because here's the other very unique side of it. And this comes into the mining itself. So Bitcoin, the network hash rate is 114 exahash. The market cap right now is $132 billion. The price obviously has went up, and I think the market cap has too. But block reward used to be 12.5. It's now 6.25. In fact, these are all 6.25. I'll have to update this. But BitcoinVault is at 5 exahash. Now, you notice we're not actually reporting our market cap, and there's a reason for it. You know, we don't want people to start trading this coin yet, shorting it, and messing up the market. We want to give it time to grow, just like Bitcoin had a few years to grow. And then we'll release it where all this information will be reporting. People will start trading it. It will become an even bigger ecosystem. So let's talk about right now, when you look at this, the hash rate. So Bitcoin Cash has only got 1.65 exahash. Bitcoin SV's got 1.48 exahash. And we just passed 5 exahash of mining power. Now that's massive, because it's not just mining city, mining the coin. That's what a lot of people don't realize. we actually have a different standard. You guys can look it up. It's called, the website's called digitalmining.org. And we use something called DDMS, which is Decentralized Digital Mining Standard. And here's what's unique about it. So Bitcoin, for instance, is being mined about 70 to 71, maybe even a little more in China, unfortunately. And that makes the mining itself not decentralized, even though the wallets and the network and everything else is decentralized. But let's say somebody like in China got mad and they wanted to attack the network, that would create an issue. So BitcoinVault, as a security feature, decided to subscribe to the DDMS code, where all of the mining is also decentralized, making this harder to crack, harder for a 51% attack, making it harder to attack the network itself and cause issues. And that's the beauty of what this is, okay? So let's talk about Mining City and MineBest. Now, I told you how MineBest got started. I told you how Hanil Park basically approached Al and Greg and said, hey, I want to bring my people to you, and so on and so forth. And he basically wanted to come in and bring massive amounts of people to MineBest. And in order to do that, because of their contracts with Kazakhstan, they had to do basically what we call a spinoff, which basically created Mining City. So Greg, VP of marketing for MineBest, left to become the CEO of Mining City. And Mining City basically is the marketing arm, so you guys understand, for MineBest. Okay, this is actually some of the mining boxes. We call this the MineBest boxes. IAL invented this because the way that it's structured, it's actually doesn't require cooling like a typical mine does, which cuts down on the cost of electricity and increases the profits. So, like, this is one of the things that I discovered as I was doing some of my due diligence is, you know, I have my machines actually in Iceland before. But here's the crazy part. In Iceland, it got to a point when Bitcoin price was like right around $6,200 where I wasn't making any money off my machines. And most of the country, or most of the world that was mining there, said the same thing. They weren't making any money anymore. But because we're in a place called Kazakhstan where the electricity is half the price of Iceland, we were still profitable at MineBest. That was one of the things that caught my attention about IO. He was super smart in how he did all of his calculations and how everything worked and how it all fit together. And Mining City, basically what they do is they sell hash power to mine cryptocurrencies. That's what they do. They're the marketing arm that sells the hash power for MineBest. But what is that? What's that really look like? So when somebody buys hash power, IL basically goes out, he buys the machine that will provide the hash power. So they're guaranteed to get what they pay for because there's a machine there that's feeding that hash power, if that makes sense to you guys, okay? Where they take care of all the technology, the upgrades, the maintenance, they take care of the electricity bill. It's all included in the package that you buy. They're very transparent. This is one thing, too, that I really like. This is actually a tour of some of the people in Mining City. I think Hanil Park's probably down here somewhere, and I think John is down here who actually flew in to see me. But here's the cool part. The company is going to expedite the mining model in a B2B situation where they do an income split accordingly. So Mining City is going to pay out 35% commissions in total. They pay out 2% salaries. 6% of that money goes to MineBest for mining farms. 24% goes to miners' purchases and maintenance. 3% to the shipping and taxes. 20% goes into pre-mining, and 10% goes to company profit. It's very transparent. It doesn't fluctuate. This is what it is. And they're constantly calculating and looking at all these things. So MineBest itself, they have the mining expertise. Okay, we know they got the expertise because they have the awards. Okay, they have all of these things, you know, going on around the world. You saw IL speaking. I'll show you some awards when we're done so you guys can actually see some of the awards. But they actually provide all the infrastructure and all the power and the computing activities. So Mining City can do what they do best, and they can go out and market the product, okay? Now, one thing you need to know is, you know, the stability of the mining farms themselves. MineBest actually has multiple mining farms, okay? And I'm going to talk about that a little bit because I think that's very important for people to understand. MineBest is focused on Kazakhstan, but they also have some facilities in China. They have other facilities in a couple of other countries. And, you know, I'm going to show you actually one of those facilities as it has grown because I've actually been looking at the Google map. And I'm going to share that with you guys tonight so you guys can actually see that. I think it's just kind of cool to look at. But, you know, they actually have now, I think it's over 240 megawatts or 260 megawatts. of power out there right now, and there's more coming online as we speak. We're growing. This is actually how it basically works. There's a cooperative agreement between Mining City and MineBest. Mining City is actually owned by Prophetic, which is a Cyprus-owned company, and miningscity.com is just a website. So you guys really know how that partnership works. We have a stable power supply. Our power supply is actually less than 5 cents per kilowatt in Kazakhstan, and it's cheaper in a couple of other places. We have the MineBest box, which is the cooling system that's activated automatically. So we don't have separate air conditioning, which keeps the cost down. We have the transparency. So we show people how to rent out hash power with all the electricity, with everything included for 1,100 days and get into profit as quick as possible. One of the things that I will tell you that I really love about IAO is this. When I first joined, we were all using the old Bitmain S9 Antminer. But here's the crazy part. When he was doing his calculations, he realized that he could cut costs on electricity while increasing the profits by just switching machines. So guess what happened? They upgraded all of the machines, didn't charge anybody anything. We just started making more money because of the machine change. And you can kind of see a little bit of this in this slide, but this is the thing. We went from paying $7.98 per day to paying $2.39 per day. That's profit in our pocket. And so it became smart, So this is the thing, guys. If you like what you've seen so far, I'm going to tell you up front. You always have to go back to sign up with the person who got you here. That's very important to me. Don't come to me. Don't go to Darren. Don't go to any of the other leaders. Go to the person who got you here. That's the way we work. We take care of our team. We work together as a unit. If you're coming on and you're brand new, we're here to help you. We're here to teach you. We're here to train you. We're here to do everything we possibly can to make you successful. But after you sign up, you got to purchase a plan. And I'm going to tell you up front, purchase a BitcoinVault plan. And then you'll start mining 10 days after purchase. The next day, you'll get your first payout. You can take that payout any day you want. That's your choice. It's up to you. Okay, so let's talk about the marketing plan. Let's talk about how you get paid. Okay, because this is one of the most important parts of it is because there's 5 very unique ways to get paid here. You got a binary tree bonus. You got a binary matching bonus. And then you have a plan bonus. Then you have the repurchase bonus, and you have a residual bonus. Now, the plan, well, actually, we'll just get into that as we go through it. So here's the thing. You have to purchase a plan. So we got a package that's $300. Right now, this is just a promotional deal. We don't know if it's going to last forever, but it's allowing people to get in and basically buy and test drive it. That's really what that's for. It's a test drive. $300. You get 3 terahash for 1,100 days. Now, you'll notice 3 terahash, $300. That's $100 a terahash. As you go through this, you're going to notice the next one, $600, 6 terahash, still same $100. At 1,200, you get 12 terahash. 2,400, you're going to get 24 terahash. At 4,200, you get 42 terahash. But at 12.6, you actually get a 12 terahash bonus. So instead of getting 126 terahash, you get 138. And this applies to Bitcoin and to BitcoinVault. Okay, so let's talk about let's talk about your rank system, because this is kind of a unique deal. I had to get my head around this a little bit. But every time somebody joins, whether you place them left or right, doesn't really matter. What you're going to notice is you have this little thing called binary points. So take a look at this part right here where I'm at. Okay, see the 0.5, the 1, the city builder, so on and so forth. So when somebody comes in and they buy points or buy a plan, they get points. When you have 5 points on your left, 5 points on your right, that's going to allow you a chance to actually cycle, make $200. We're going to come down to that in a second in a slide. But here's the cool part. When you actually jump ranks because your team is growing, okay, then you can cycle more times per day. We're going to talk about that. So I just became a developer. I'm headed to city manager pretty quick. Every time you actually join or get a rank, you actually have to have a specific plan. So as a developer, you only have to have $600 in mining plan. As a city manager, you got $2,400. As a city chief, you got to have $4,200. As a city mayor, you got to have 12.6, and as a governor, you got to have at least $13,800 in mining. But guys, I'm going to tell you, I started out with $3,500 package because that was back then before we did some changes to our packages. They used to be $500, $1,000, $2,000, or you buy one of each for $3,500. That's what I did. Now I have a 12,600 package in my name. I have a 12,600 package in my wife's name. Plus I have the 3,500 and I'm buying more. I mean, why? Because I can see it making money. It made sense. So here's how this works. As you're basically jumping ranks, you have to basically, a city builder and above, you got to sponsor 5 citizens, which is $600 and above package. 5 citizens at $600 and above, and you have to have $12,000 in your total team volume, which means anybody on your team could have helped bring in that volume, not just you. And then you got to become a city developer, you got to have 3 city builders under your team, and at least one have to happen in your team A. And I'm going to talk about that in a second so you understand the difference between your team A and team B. And then you got to have $60,000 in team volume. When you actually hit $300,000 in volume and you have at least one city developer in your team A, you actually become a city manager. Your city chief, when you have $2.4 million in your team, and again, that's not all coming from you, it's just as deep as it goes, you'll actually have one from your team, one city manager from team A, the other 2 could be anywhere in your downline, and then you'll actually become a city chief manager. City chief or city mayor is when you guys actually have 12 million in volume. You got total of 3 city managers with 1 from team A, you become a city mayor. When you become a governor, now this is where the money gets crazy, and we'll talk about that in a second, but you got to have 3 city mayors with at least 1 from team A and $100 million in volume. This is the biggest rank that they've ever had, but we already have our first governor, or maybe even 2 by now, actually. So team tree. So this is the thing. Whenever you guys place your people, you're going to have your team tree. I'm just going to tell you up front is basically like a unilevel to help you guys understand what that looks like. So you're actually going to have, let's just go to the next slide so I can explain it. So the first 5 people that you register, that you personally sponsor, are going to be your first 5, your team A. Your next people from 6 all the way to infinity will actually become your team B. But here's the cool part. Every single person that goes front line to you, 6 all the way to infinity, their first 5 also become your level 2. And that's where you actually can make some additional income. And we'll talk about that as we go through this binary tree. But this, again, is what I was talking about with your binary points. Once you place people in the binary, they're officially placed and you submitted it, their points will lock in on the left and lock in on the right. When you have 5 left, 5 right, you're actually going to go ahead and make the $200 cycle. So you can actually see how that works. When this is you right here at your top, you have 14 points, 12 or 11 points, and here's how it worked. You have 7 points in Bitcoin. You have 7 points in BitcoinVault. Okay, $4,200 plan, $4,200 plan. You have 4 points here. You have 7 points here, 2,400, 2,400. Now you need 5 Bitcoin, 5 points Bitcoin, 5 points for BitcoinVault to cycle on both of those. That would have gave you 2 cycles, not just 1. So let's talk about your. Actually, I just went over this, so that's your bonus. So let's talk about your bonuses. Let's go to this. So you're resident. So let's say somebody's a resident. They can only cycle 1 time per day, which means they can only make $200. When they actually become a citizen, they can now cycle up to 4 times per day and make up to $800 per day. As a city builder, you can cycle 5 times per day up to $1,000. As a city developer, 6 times per day for up to $1,200. As a city manager, 8 times per day for $1,600. As a city chief manager, 10 times per day for $2,000. And as a city mayor, 12 times per day for up to $2,400. And up as a governor, you can cycle 14 times up to $2,800 a day. Now, that's off just the cycles. Now, you also have this thing that are called your matching bonus, okay? Your matching bonus basically is limited based on the rank you are. So like as a resident, you only get your first level. When you're a citizen, you get 2 levels. When you're a city builder, you get 4 levels. When you're a city developer, you go down 6 levels. When you're a city manager, you get 8 levels. City chief manager, 9 levels. City mayor, 10 levels. Governor, 11 levels. And here's what this looks like. Every time somebody on your team down their cycles, you get a $10 check match. Now, I got news for you. That little $10 check match has made Hanil Park crazy, crazy rich. Because $10 every time somebody cycles in his entire tree, 11 levels deep, is massive amounts of money. Because you got to keep in mind, if you sign up 50 people on your front line, that 50 people might end up being 2,000 people on your second line, it might end up being 10,000 people on your third line. So it gets to be very massive as this grows, and your binary bonuses just keep paying like clockwork. Okay, it's massive. Let's talk about let's skip this one for a second. So your potential as a governor. So this is what I want you to see, like here. So here's what happened. They had, as a governor, they were able to go all the way down. They get $10 for every person that actually cycles. So it'll show you. So let's take a look here. You got 12 cycles, $10 bonus, 30 days, 12/8 bonus. Okay. And you obviously then you have your next level down. They had 10 on your city chiefs, $10, 27. Okay. Then you have your managers, 8 levels or 8 cycles, $10, 30 days, $64,800 in matches. Your developer, 6 cycles, $10, 30 days, $145,000. Your builders, five cycles, $10, 30 days, $364,500. So as a governor, this was his monthly bonus or potential for the monthly bonus. Guys, pay attention to this. $612,900 in bonus money. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I never seen a comp plan that quite paid like that. That to me is real money. That to me is retirement money. When you can make more in 1 month than most people pay, get paid in 2 or 3 years in just $10 check matches, it's a crazy amount of money. Okay. Then you have your plan bonus. Okay. So your plan bonus is based on your team A, team B, or your team B A structure. Okay. So let's talk about what that looks like so you guys understand. So again, you sign up your first 5, you're going to make 5% off those people off everything that they buy up front. And then in your team B, from 6 to infinity, you're going to make 10% on those people. Okay. And here's the cool part. Every time somebody on your team B goes out and signs up somebody, you're going to make a 5% bonus on their first 5 people all the way down. So resident, it doesn't apply, but citizen, that goes 10 levels deep. City builder, it goes 15 levels deep. City developer goes 20 levels deep. City manager goes 30 levels deep. And with the city chief manager, mayor, and governor, there are no level limits. So again, your bonus money can be massive amounts of money. Okay. Your repurchase bonus from your team A and team B also doubles. So here's what's really cool. When somebody makes a purchase, you make 5%. But if they make a repurchase in the back office, I'm actually going to show you this. You can actually earn 10% on the repurchase. On the B side, you're going to make 20%. And then anybody in the B team, their first 5 people, off their repurchases, you're going to make 10%. And again, your citizen goes 10 levels, builder goes 15, developer goes 20, city manager goes 30, and there's no limits for the city chief manager, city mayor, and the governor. This comp plan, bar none, is one of the biggest money makers I have ever seen. And then as you start to climb and you start to achieve a little more rank, you get this residual bonus. And this is kind of a nice little way to make some extra cash, guys. So as you become a city builder, you can actually, on your first generation, get 1% bonus off of everything they do. Second generation, off 1% off everything they do. And third generation, you can make a 0.5% off everything they do. Okay. And city developer, same thing, 1, 1, and half. City manager and above, it's just on your first and second generations, it's now 1%. But by this time you hit these kind of ranks, guys, I can't even get into how much money it could be. But let me just close this out, and then I'm going to come back. So first off, I want to say thank you for coming to this webinar. And again, I want to encourage you to get back with the person who got you here to get started. But before you guys leave, I want to actually just show you something, because I think it's really, to be transparent and show you guys something. I'm just going to log into my wife's account. I removed the 2-factor authentication off of it for now, so I can actually log in really quick. I want you to see this so you can actually see the income potential for somebody who isn't working the business at all. Okay. True story. My wife's not doing anything. We just bought the mining. Okay. So I've actually signed up a few people under her position, and I will keep doing so because that's just how I work. But in your BitcoinVault plan, I want you to see actually, Darren, you got your calculator handy? Let me stop sharing for a second. I'm going to bring you back here, Darren, so I can actually come over here. Darren, you still there? Unmute yourself. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I want you to do me a favor. I want you to do some calculations for me real quick so people can actually see it. And you can tell us that number. I know we might get a little feedback because we're on together, but I want to share my screen and I want you to do some math for us. And you can tell people what this number is, because I think it's really important that they can see it. So let's take a look at the overview. Okay, so here's what happened. My wife has now made, from mining alone, and keep in mind, guys, let me just show you actually, because I literally just bought this plan. Okay, so she's got a BitcoinVault plan that started mining on the 1st. Okay, so she's only been mining now for basically less than a week. Okay, so in that little plan, when I go back to her wallet, you'll actually see right here the actual income. So this is like, you know, obviously with one day, she's got 3 packages inside the 12.6. So it's not just one. You got a $55, you got 37.13, then the 445, and then you turn around and do it all over again. Okay, where you got the actually that's for the rank investment. This is the PMP. So this is, you know, you can see we've actually paid for other people's packages because they didn't have BitcoinVault. But here again, you'll see $56.37, $37.58, $14.09, and then guess what? $4.50, and then all of a sudden the mining payouts. If you look again, we're still on this. That's actually the first day before. So let's go back and look at these. So look at this: 55, 36, 1382, 490, 442, 53.93. I mean, guys, it's $140 a day off this package right now. That's what the price has been. These are actualities. Now, let me say this to you. I can't tell you that you're going to make exactly what my wife is making in her package. I can't tell you that because it may not be true. BitcoinVault, just like Bitcoin, fluctuates in price. The mining difficulty changes. There's a lot of things that change and go into the factor on what you could earn. More people could join the pool, which could reduce what your payouts are. But here's the thing. You will never be able to lose money in this situation. You have 1,100 days to make your money back, you know, without you doing anything, because the machine is doing the work for you. Okay. This is one of the cleanest and easiest opportunities ever. If I could have convinced all my friends to start mining Bitcoin in 2013, they would all be rich. This is your opportunity to do the same thing. Okay. So Darren, calculate this for me real quick. We have 6.366. 6.366 plus 5.367 plus 5.108. Now I realize I didn't get all the numbers on each one of them, but what's that total, Darren?
16.841.
Okay, take that times $200.
3,368.20.
So here's the deal. My wife, who hasn't really done anything, and to be brutally honest with you, I haven't done a lot either for her, because these are everybody in her tree. That's everybody, okay? But I'm starting to build here right now. So with just 6 people, okay, just 6 people in her tree, and let's face it, she's got a resident in here, and the other ones are all citizens, meaning they're all $600 packages. No big packages here. But with just that little bit of money, little bit, in the mining, my wife was able to make, what is it, 30, what would you say, how much in dollar amount?
33.68.
So guys, like, this has to be one of the easiest opportunities that you could ever do to make income. I mean, it's literally got to be one of the easiest things to do, okay? If somebody invited you here, take time out to have a conversation with them. If you want to have a chat with me, tell them to connect you with Ari, and let's have a chat, because I'm here to help you get involved the right way. I won't ever lie to you. I won't deceive you. I will share every bit of facts that I know, 100% across the board. If you want to learn, guess what? We have a complete crypto academy we're about to launch. We're going to start teaching cryptocurrency entirely for free, okay? Now, I'll tell you also on our team, my upline, my direct sponsor is Hannah Pinza. Her husband is a professor who teaches cryptocurrency. So maybe we could actually get all of our teams together and do something to help our teams grow massively. We also have access to Greg Rogowski, who's the CEO of Mining City. We have access to Ayal Abramovich, who is the CEO of MindBest. And I guarantee you, he is without a doubt probably one of the smartest people I have met in the industry this far, okay? So guys, please do yourself a favor. Take the step. Get involved. Change your financial future, okay? I want to welcome you tonight to the Crypto Wealth Club, Mining City team, and I want to help you guys change your financial future. But we can't do it until you take the first step, and that's getting started. So get signed up, get a package, and let's go. You guys have a great night. On behalf of myself and my business partner, Darren Little. Guys, I really enjoyed being here, and I'm excited. I hope you guys could feel some of that, but I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen something this real with so much proof and so many things behind it that just tells me, Ari, plant your flag. So, like, this is the thing for me. Everybody who knows me will tell you in the past, I've done 5, 6 things at one time, all the time. I told Darren, I found something. He goes, really? Tell me about it. I said, bro, I'm planting my flag here. This is all I'm going to do. And keep in mind, Darren was kind of scared because Darren and I, as I said, we own Black Ops Live Underground Marketing. You can see it on my shirt. You can see it on his hat. And we teach marketing. And we've been building a whole system to actually help teach and instruct. He was nervous that I was going to keep going because I fell in love with this so hard. But obviously, our business is our business, and I'm going to keep that going. But this is where, all my passion is. Everything that I believe in is right here because crypto changed my life. And I know if you trust it, it can change yours too. So I want you guys to have a good night, and I want you to enjoy life, and we'll see you on the next webinar next Sunday. And if you guys are on our team, I want you to keep in mind that if you get into the group, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we also do training where we teach you guys not only about Mining City, but we teach you how to promote it. We teach you how to build a team. We teach you everything that you need to know to be successful and get yourself to a high 6-figure income. Have a great night. On behalf of myself and my business partner, Darren, you got anything you want to add?
Take action and win, guys. We're on a major runaway freight train right now. So pull the trigger and let's do this.
Let's go, guys. Have a good night.